Healing is part of the divine plan for the progression of all souls, and I hope everyone who hears my voice will work for this plan by spreading knowledge of the truths that underlie spiritual healing. Let us therefore unite in the following prayerful thoughts, and so help to lay the foundations for the days ahead. May I be thankful for all the blessings I already have. Grant me relief from pain and sickness. Protect me from all ills, and grant me good health in the days to come. Remove all causes of imperfection, and bring thy healing ministers close to me, that I may be conscious of their presence, and so receive guidance and inspiration. Grant me courage and fortitude to overcome all adversity. Let me be conscious of thy strength in all times of need. Grant me confidence to overcome my fears and not to anticipate harm. Teach me how to live rightly in thy sight, to do only that which is right and true. I pray that good guidance and right influencing will inspire all thy peoples to be as brothers, one to the other, and that peace shall endure for all time. Amen. This is Harry Edwards saying, God bless you, my friends, and may all healing blessings be with you.
Thank you, Teresa. When he moved in there, he poured all his money with his sister Ivy, and they didn't have many. He only had £17 in his back pocket, and that was it. So of course they didn't have a lot of furniture. So his chauffeur, Mr. Hill, used to go down to the local sale rooms and see what furniture they could pick up and bring it back to Harry's. And actually, we've still got some of the original pieces there. Also in the house, we've got two beautiful rugs that Harry brought back from his time in Persia. So that was going back to the war, which are really lovely. And in the house, we have pictures that Felicity did of Bluebells, his daughter. And his sister Ivy's done this most beautiful tapestry. I don't know how long it took her. Would have taken me a lifetime, but really beautiful.
Is that the one that's in the living room, Rowena? That's like a big. Is it hung on the wall in the main kind of lounge?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that she'd done that.
Dining room. So if you're on the retreat, this is where you have your meals. But if we have conferences, they also have their meals in the dining room as well.
And is it true that Felicity would paint over kind of old canvases? Because canvas was quite expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So she sometimes, there's certain paintings I think that were even donated, and then she decided she was going to, redo them.
Yes. Well, just after the war, canvas was very expensive. So therefore, I think a lot of the, some of the pictures at least, will be passed on to Felicity.
Yeah.
And she's a fabulous artist and still alive to this very day.
Yeah.
And says hello to everyone.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll get to talk to her at some point. I know she's visited quite a bit and you know her quite well, Rowena. If you're interested in a bit more of the history, a walk down memory lane, we're fascinated. And when you get people like the lovely Jean and Vincent Hill, Rowena just mentioned about Harry Edwards' chauffeur, Mr. Edwards' chauffeur. Vincent was his son. So if you go to our page on our website, which is the URL will come up at the end, but right through the programme you'll be able to watch the recordings that we've done throughout Healing Awareness Week. And in there it's a walk down memory lane with Jean and Vincent Hill, and that's a wonderful interview that one of our trustees, Alan Moore, did with them as they share their life and times and some of their memories with growing up there, and also living and working with Mr. Edwards. So that's definitely worth a look. And at the bottom of that page is the aerial virtual tour that I shared with you, the longer version, so it goes on more and the aerial footage goes over. And next to that is also a walking tour, so that's a 360 tour, so you can go at leisure and kind of walk around on your own, essentially, around several of our spaces at the sanctuary. So that's quite an exciting thing to do if you're interested in visiting the sanctuary virtually today. All right, shall I go?
Yeah, the picture was taken in the garden. Harry Edwards is the one on the right-hand side with his beautiful hands. I'll have to add something about the chapel as well. And then you have the Burtons next door to him. You also have the...
Just quickly, Verena, so the lady that's sitting to the right of Mr. Edwards, that is...
Olive Burton.
Right.
Mr. Burton's the other side. And then you have, I don't know, some of these ladies are from the typing pool. And then the other lady is a great friend of Harry Edwards, who was like one of the first volunteers.
Is that the lady that's sitting next to Mr. Burton?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, it's a lovely photo, isn't it? I just, when you look at it, you just think, oh, I wonder what they were thinking at that time, because trying to take a photo back in those days would have been quite a thing. You were very lucky to be able to take them, I guess.
Harry took lots of photographs because, he did a lot of travelling. He would also go on cruises as well as part of his holiday. But of course, he went to Zimbabwe and did speeches. He went over to the continent. When he was in Zimbabwe, which was Rhodesia, the spiritual church that he went to donated a brass cast of his hands for him to, which you can actually see in the sanctuary. And actually, if you touch the hands, you can feel the energy to this very day. So there's a pair of Harry's hands there. And it came from a spiritualist church in Bulawayo. So it was really quite something.
Yeah, there's just so many memories, isn't there? And things, we're making memories every day, of course. There's lots of amazing things are going on up there today, but it is lovely to have that walk down memory lane and, bringing all this to life, particularly on a day like this.
Yeah.
And we have the 75th anniversary coming up next year, don't we, for the Harry Edwards Sanctuary?
Yes, for the 70th, we had a party as well, and that was when Felicity, his daughter, came with the two of her sons and her niece. So that was lovely to meet them. I met them there for the first time. So yeah, lovely. And
Felicity wrote a book, didn't she, just a few years ago? That was only 2-3 years ago, I think, and that is quite an interesting read, which is My Life with My Father, I think it's called.
Life Around My Father.
Life Around My Father.
It's fascinating. It's just a little book and well worth a read, and you'll get some insight about Harry there and his family as well. So I recommend the read. Harry wrote many books on spiritual healing, and we have all the books in the library, but you can buy them online. And we even have them in Japanese too. There's 10 publications in Japanese. So, yeah,
and we're very fortunate, aren't we? We get particularly, we get people come from all around the world, and it's always amazing to see when people come and the stories they share, about generations have come and wonderful stories that they pass on, and then the children and the grandchildren come, and it just really feels like a home, and it's a home of spiritual healing for everybody, and I think you really feel that when you walk in, you feel very welcomed. And we particularly get a high percentage from Japan, which is again, amazing. And I think probably because of the world of Reiki and, in the Eastern world, they seem just a bit more, this is all, very natural, as it should be. And I think we've still got a little way to go with some folk, particularly in the Western world, on their understanding of healing and why it's so normal and very natural, and why it's so phenomenal at the same time. And this is why Healing Awareness Week at the moment is so important, to get things in a way that everyone has access to this, no matter where they are.
Well, Harry Edwards was the first president of the NFSH, the National Federation of Healers, and what he wanted was to make sure that everyone was singing from the same hymn book. And the head office was actually in Borrosley. So it was there for a couple of years, and then when it was growing, they moved to other premises. But Harry Edwards had also done a correspondence course, and one of our healers, his father was on it in Canada. So it happened all those many years ago, right back in the 60s.
Mm.
So, and of course today we still have a lovely healing college with many students passing through.
Is there anything else to share just before we play our final song and gear up for the 1 minute silence at 11?
I think Harry Edwards, he's if you actually hear the whole story about how he grew up, he went into printing at the age of 14 and didn't like it. He used to skive off as much as he could, but he did actually get the apprenticeship. But during his time, he also became interested in politics. So he actually stood to become 2 years running in the local by-elections in London. He wasn't successful, but it didn't really matter because it gave him valuable experience in public speaking. So he would use Trafalgar Square. He would do big healing demonstrations in showing everyone how healing could be given to everyone, no matter, if you, everyone really, including royalty. They used to come down to the sanctuary. So, and he would go around doing healing demonstrations throughout the country.
Wonderful. All right, so here's a little tune that you might know. Our lovely healer Tina gave us some inspiration yesterday when we were trying to put this very special session for you today.